Conscious Leadership Podcast, the human side of leadership, where consciousness meets practical business leadership. The podcast dives into real challenges managers face, from team motivation to navigating change. Discover actionable insight, proven strategies, and inspiring stories to help you lead with clarity, authenticity, and impact. Whether you are an SME owner, a team leader, or simply passionate about conscious leadership, this podcast will equip you with the tools to build stronger teams, foster trust, and achieve sustainable success. Tune in, lead consciously, and make a difference. Hello, and welcome to a new episode of the Conscious Leadership Podcast. I'm your host, Boris Nedved, and today I'm diving into a key yet often overlooked topic: the bias in talent assessment tools. This episode is closely aligned with my insights from my book, Human-Centric Business, Transforming Talent and Leadership in the Modern Business World. I explore how organizations can rethink talent assessment and leadership development in a way that truly values human potential, human uniqueness. In my corporate career, I've seen, used, and experienced numerous talent and strengths assessment tools. All these tools are designed to help organizations to make informed decisions about hiring, team development, leadership potential, and so on. But here's for me the catch. Many of these traditional tools and assessment tools carry inherent biases that can skew results and misrepresent an individual's true capability. So in this episode, I want to explore some of the most commonly used talent assessment tools that I have encountered and seen and worked with. The three major types of biases that I see in these assessments, the limitations of these traditional tools and why they may not be the best indicators of potential, and how, from my perspective, BG5 and OC16 can eliminate these biases and promote a real human-centric business model. So what are some of the traditional talent assessment tools, and what's the issue with those? So what are some of the traditional talent assessment tools, and what is the issue with them? Many organizations still rely on these questionnaire-based assessment tools to evaluate candidates and employees. There are felt like gazillions of such tools, and in my corporate career I've seen, used, and experienced Gallup StrengthsFinder or Clifton Strengths, Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, MBTI, DISC Assessment, Hogan Assessment, SHL Occupational Personality Questionnaire, Predictive Index, Talent Smart Emotional Intelligence, EQ Test, and Caliber Profile. Most likely more, and I just cannot recall them all anymore. All these tools rely on methods like self-report questionnaires, situational judgment tests, and/or cognitive assessments. While these methods can provide valuable insights and structured ways to evaluate candidates, they also introduce bias due to the subjective input and external influences. If you take, for example, an individual and the individual mood and the environment, or the preconceived notions about the assessment itself, these can all impact their responses, affecting the accuracy and reliability of the results. So there is situational bias in it. The responses are influenced by the context, including the location, the time of the day, the stress level at the moment of taking the test. And these temporal factors impact the results. Someone in a positive state might answer differently than someone experiencing stress at the moment, workplace stress, exam stress, whatever it might be. There's psychological bias. There's a social desirability that affects the responses. Individuals may answer in ways they think will be perceived beneficial or positive, rather than truthfully. Self-awareness plays a role. People with a low confidence might underreport their strengths, while highly confident individuals might overestimate their capabilities. Cognitive biases, such as confirmation bias or anchoring bias, influence how individuals interpret and answer the questions. In the context of talent assessments, the confirmation bias can occur when a hiring manager unconsciously favors the assessment results that align with their own expectations about a candidate, leading them to overlook discrepancies or potential red flags in the assessment or the results or the tests, whatever it might be. This bias can reinforce preconceived notions about what makes a good employee or a good leader, limiting the diversity of thought and preventing organizations from making objective, data-driven hiring decisions. The anchoring bias occurs when people rely too heavily on the first piece of information they receive. This might mean that a hiring manager or leader may give disproportionate weight to a single assessment score, an initial impression, or one standout trait of a candidate, regardless of what they see later on in the test. And you have the expectation-driven bias. Individuals adjust their responses based on the expectations, what they believe the company wants to hear. If it's an assessment that is labeled as a leadership test, participants may overemphasize traits associated with leadership, even if those traits do not align with their natural tendencies. All these biases make questionnaire-based assessments unreliable. And this is my perspective, and you might argue against it. But it may lead to misaligned hiring, team development, and talent management decisions. A candidate might tailor their responses to align with what they believe the company wants, leading to a hire who appears ideal on paper, but struggles to perform in real business situations. Similarly, an employee may be placed in a leadership role based on an assessment result, rather than their true strengths, which can cause later on friction and disengagement within the team, especially if they become a leader and then certain leadership traits were based on a questionnaire, and the questionnaire doesn't stand true. When we look at science continues to reveal that human beings are not isolated entities, but they are dynamic fields of energy that influence and are influenced by others. You can see in my Substack article, The Quantum Fabric of Reality, emerging research into quantum biology, DNA resonance, and brain-heart coherence that supports the idea that human interactions are governed by unseen forces, something that is not yet looked at in any of the assessment tools. These discoveries align with the principles behind BG5 and OC16, which assess an individual's energetic blueprint, rather than relying on self-reported personality traits. So it's not questionnaire-based. For a human-centric business model, these assessment biases need to be eliminated to reveal really the intrinsic strengths and the potential of the people. As I discuss in my book, Human-Centric Business, the businesses and the leaders must move beyond outdated assessment tools and adopt frameworks that allow individuals to thrive based on their true strengths, rather than their ability to fit to a predefined mold. And true human-centric leadership values people, not for how they test, but for their authentic strengths, their authentic natural skills and unique contributions. So to align talent with the roles where they thrive best. And this is where, from my perspective, BG5 and OC16 come in. They are a revolutionary and different approach to talent assessment that goes beyond the traditional self-reporting tools. So how do they differ? They offer unparalleled uniqueness. Compared to questionnaire-driven assessment tools, BG5 and OC16 offer an astonishing number of unique possibilities. It's a 54 digits figure of possibilities. Yes, 54 digits. What other assessment tool that you know has this level of uniqueness? Thinking about, for example, the 16 personality types of MBTI, it's rather limited. So it gives the unique insight into an individual. It's like a map, and it ensures that each individual's strengths, tendencies, energetic design are assessed in a truly individual and precise manner. These results are objective and unbiased. Unlike the questionnaire-based methods, BG5 and OC16 do not rely on self-perception or external judgment based on questionnaires. They uncover an individual's innate strength, work style, and potential without external influence. And they go beyond personality tests. The traditional tools primarily focus on behavioral tendencies. BG5 and OC16 examine deeper intrinsic motivators, team energy dynamics, and work environment preferences. And they offer a practical business application. They provide precise insights into how individuals function best within teams, function best within leadership roles and decision-making structures. So they offer a real business world approach to talent optimization and talent use. And they eliminate the bias in decision-making because they don't require any self-reporting or questionnaires. They remove the situational, psychological, and expectation-driven biases, making it therefore a reliable approach to assessing potential. So why am I talking about all of that? You as a conscious leader should reconsider traditional talent assessment tools. Yes, traditional business models often ignore the subtle, energetic dynamics at play within teams and organizations. Research in quantum biology and neuroscience suggests that human beings emit electromagnetic fields that interact with those around them, finally influencing group cohesion, decision-making, and leadership effectiveness. This reinforces the idea that assessment models should account for these influences, rather than relying solely on rigid frameworks. When organizations fail to consider these dynamics, they risk creating environments where communication breaks down, disengagement happens, and misalignment become persistent challenges. So all of what you see and hear in Gallup reports and so on, it's there. Traditional talent assessment tools are not inherently bad. It's not what I'm saying. But they must be interpreted critically and used alongside more authentic and bias-free approaches. Organizations can effectively integrate traditional tools with BG5 and OC16 by using the traditional models, for example, as an initial screening method, while leveraging really BG5 and OC16 for deeper insights into an individual's and team's true potential. Combining personality assessments with these energetic analysis allows businesses to match individuals to roles, not just based on surface-level traits, but on intrinsic motivators and strengths. This is for me the key advantage of using those. This balanced approach ensures that hiring and talent development decisions are both data-driven and human-centered. The key is to use a holistic evaluation process. And from my perspective, organizations that shift towards an unbiased talent identification can benefit in multiple ways. They can make more accurate hiring decisions, selecting the candidates based on their true potential, not just how well they answer a questionnaire. They can achieve higher employee engagement. When people work in roles that are aligned with their natural strength, they are more fulfilled and more productive. They enjoy actually working. You have a stronger leadership development by identifying the right leadership qualities rather than selecting individuals who test well. And you get improved team dynamics. You can structure the teams based on the energetic strengths and compatibility rather than surface-level personality traits. The whole talent assessment sphere is evolving, and conscious leaders must adapt. That is what makes conscious leadership. In Human-Centric Business, my book, I highlight how organizations that embrace modern bias-free talent evaluation methods, such as BG5 and OC16, are seeing improved engagement, retention, and leadership effectiveness. And many forward-thinking companies have already begun shifting away from traditional assessment methods in favor of data-driven, behavioral-based approaches. These organizations recognize that the rigid, questionnaire-based tools fail to capture the full spectrum of an individual's potential and are investing in more holistic, bias-free solutions. So if you are relying solely on traditional assessment tools, it may be really time to overthink and rethink how you evaluate your talent in the company. So here's my challenge for you. Reflect on how talent is assessed in your organization. Have you encountered biases in assessments? Have you seen a hiring decision go wrong because of misleading assessment results? What are your thoughts on their effectiveness? Share your insights on how these tools have influenced your hiring and leadership decisions. I really would love to hear your experiences because, if we share, we care. And sharing helps others to see what works and doesn't work. So leave a comment, connect with me on LinkedIn, reach out to me for a call, or share your thoughts on my website, human-centric.com. Thank you for tuning in, and until the next time, stay intentional, stay conscious, and keep leading with purpose. Thank you for listening to the Conscious Leadership Podcast. Look forward to the next episode to come, and stay intentional, stay conscious, and keep leading with purpose. Until the next time, bye.